So in this lecture, I will give you some introductory information of the software SAS Enterprise Miner. And in order to use SAS Enterprise Miner to do data analysis, so typically the first step is to create a YAM project. And after you create a project, then we'll create a library so that we can use YAM to import and store data file from the local computer. And afterwards, we're going to create a data source to identify the file in your local machine for the analysis. And sometimes we may have non-SAS data file, for example, CSV file or TXT file. So we'll discuss how to import such data file. And finally, we'll discuss how to create a process flow diagram for the analysis. So the first step is to create a YAM project. So we will use YAM that's available in the CRANET remote access. You don't need to download into a local machine. Instead, you can click this link to virtual CRANET and sign in using your Purdue career account. And then click the folder called Lab Apps and find the SAS Enterprise Miner. Click that. And then go to launch to the front page of SAS YAM. Alright, so here's the front page of the SAS YAM software. And from the front page, you have a few options because we have no project yet. So we'll click New Project to create a new project. And specify the project name and the server path. So we will use a name called Start. And here, the server directory, that's the path where you're going to store all your projects. And click this PC, and you can find your local folders. So I will use W folder and MGMT 571. So that's my path for storing all these projects. And click Next. Then verify the directory for your projects and finish. Alright, so we'll get to the window of the project called Start. So far we have created a new project called Start. If you want to open an existing project, you can follow this path to open an existing project. So in the second step, we're going to discuss how to create a YAM library. So that's the process for YAM to access the data set that's in your local folder. Okay? So basically, the YAM library gives us a shortcut name or pointer to the local folder where you store your SAS file. In particular, the format of the SAS data file is the file name .sas7bdat. So basically that's referred to the SAS data file. So let's see how we create a library. So first, click the File and New, and then select Library. Alright, so we're going to create a new library. Click Next. And then you will specify the name of your library. So for example, we can use HMEQ. That's the name of our data file. You can use whatever name you want. And here, the path of the library should be the folder where you store the data set. So in my case, that's in W folder, MGMT 571 and data. So that's the path of the library. and then click Next. And make sure the path and the name is correct, and then Finish. So far we have created a new library, and you can verify the all available libraries by click View, Explore, and in the SAS library, that's our available library, HMEQ is the one we just created. And here you can see the data file, that's a SAS file loaded to this library. So you can double click Data, and you will see the data set we're going to use for the analysis. So HMEQ SAS file, the first column is bad, and the remaining 12 columns are the variable input variables. And then in the next lecture, we're going to discuss how to create a data source and how to load the data for the analysis.